Hi guys, welcome to Untitled. In this video, I'm going to show you how to root almost any Android device. Now, how we are going to do that is by using Magisk. Magisk is one of the most popular rooting clients that are out there, and here you can clearly see that it has almost 149 million downloads. So that just goes on to show how popular this rooting solution really is. Now, there are two prerequisites before we get started. Firstly, you need to have a lot of patience. Some Android manufacturers make it really hard to modify their devices, but that's really in very rare cases, like maybe 0.1% of Android devices are hard to. Most of them are quite easy. And secondly, you need to have a custom recovery installed. Now, in case you don't know what a custom recovery is, then I will quickly show you how to go about that. So, custom recovery is essentially a means using which we will install Magisk, and later on, as you delve deeper into modification of your Android device, you can use that to flash custom ROMs, custom kernels, and all that stuff. Custom ROMs are just a different skin of Android. They will change the user interface and help you just get a revamped version of Android, and custom kernels are used to increase the performance of your device. Okay, so I was going to show you how to install a custom recovery on your Android device. So that was the second prerequisite, by the way. So what you have to do is, if you already don't have a custom recovery installed on your Android device, and one thing that I must mention here is that the most popular, there are different custom recoveries that are out there, and the most popular one is TWRP. So what you have to do here is you have to go to Google and just type in install TWRP, and then you have to type in the name of the phone. So for example, I'm using a OnePlus One right now, so I'll type OnePlus One after that. So install TWRP followed by the name of the device that you have, and once you do that, just scroll down or scroll down to the video search results, or you can just click on the video results from you can filter the search results with the video option. So what I'll usually like to do is I check out a couple of videos and see which are the most popular ones, which have the most views and which have the best like-dislike ratio. For example, this video has 28,000 views and 132 likes and 29 dislikes. So the like-to-dislike ratio is good, but if the video has some more views, then it just enhances the trust, and it makes the video seem more reliable. So just try and find the video that was uploaded more recently, or in fact, and now Google has also started to actually show previously, if any video was uploaded to YouTube, it just used to show YouTube here, but now if the video is there on the page of a OnePlus community forum, it will show that. But so just ensure that you only go to the search results which have YouTube here in the description. So I'll go to a couple of search results. This one has more views, and 1 lakh, it's 107,000 views. So that is a lot of views, and the like-to-dislike ratio also seems quite good. So what I will do is I will follow the instructions in this video. I will install TWRP, and then once you do that, then come back to this video again. So that's what you have to do. If you haven't installed a custom recovery, go to Google and search for videos which have a good number of views. Usually around 30-40,000 is good enough, and just ensure the likes to dislike ratio, maybe like 80-90%. If the video has 80-90% likes, then that must be a reliable video. Alright, so what we have to do next is that we will follow the installation instructions that are mentioned in the official GitHub page of Magisk, and that's where we are exactly right now. So just go to the installation instructions. I will link this page down below, and what we will just be doing here is we will just be following the instructions that are mentioned on this page. And I should preface this by saying that there are a lot of other websites that claim to tell you how to install Magisk, and they will also apparently give you some links from where you can download Magisk. But keep in mind that there are a lot of websites which give you malware instead of actually giving you the download link for Magisk. So my recommendation would be to not follow those kinds of guides. If you are going to follow any guide which tells you how to root your Android phone, then make sure it's a reliable YouTube video, or go to XDA forums are another good place where you can find instructions for how to root your Android device. But if you have installed TWRP on your device, then you can follow this video, and I will be giving you all the instructions for any Android phone that you have. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the official installation instructions. So basically, initially you just have a recommendation. The first section just tells you that if you are this instruction page is just for those users who are installing Magisk for the first time, but if you're looking to upgrade Magisk, it's a very simple process. I have already another video for that. I'll link in the description if you want to check that out. Okay. Next, so now that we have got the getting started section, so it says before you start, this tutorial assumes you understand how to use ADB and fastboot. Second, it says your device's bootloader has to be unlocked, and the third thing is if you plan to also install custom kernels, install it after Magisk. So what this essentially means is that you must have a custom recovery installed. If you have a custom recovery installed, you need not pay attention to any of these prerequisites. It's we will just be using the custom recovery to install Magisk. There is nothing else that you have to do. Okay. Then it says download and install the latest Magisk app. We use the app to gather some information about your device. In the home screen you should see this. So firstly what we'll do is we will go ahead and install Magisk. So what I'll do is I'll go back, and you can find the download links for Magisk. Also these are also located on this very page. So again, all the links for all the requisite files, I will leave direct links for downloading and do those instructions in the description. So what you'll do is I will open the download link in a new tab, and let me just go back to the installation instructions, and here it just says download and install the latest Magisk app. So that's what we are going to do. Okay. Now another thing that has to be noted here is that if you have an Android device that is running Android Jelly Bean, that is Android 4.2 or above, then Magisk will work for you. If you have got any device that is running an Android version lower than that, maybe like 4. I guess maybe 4.0 ice cream sandwich, or if you are running honeycomb or all that, any of those lower Android versions, then Magisk won't work for you, sadly. So even if you are using Android 4.2 or 4.4, one thing that you have to note here is that Magisk version 22.1 was the last major version of Magisk that supported those two versions. In fact, it says here in the description of version 22.1. Magisk version 22 is the last major version to support Jelly Bean and KitKat. Version 23 will only support Android Lollipop and higher. So 90% of the devices that are out there are over Android Lollipop. So for those of you, you can use the latest version of Magisk, but for the small percentage of you who have one of those older devices, then you will have to use version 22.1. That was the last major release which supported these older Android versions. Okay, so what you have to do here is we go to Magisk version 23, we scroll down until we see this assets button. You just click on that, click on the drop down, and from here just click on Magisk version 23.0.apk. At the time of recording this video, 23.0 was the latest release, but let's say if you are seeing this when Magisk version 30 is out, maybe, then just click on the drop down and download Magisk version 30, whatever it is. Just download the .apk file. Okay, I'll save this file, and once it's downloaded, click on open. You must have if you haven't given permission for unknown sources, you will get a prompt up for that at this point, but I have already given the permission for installing apps from unknown sources, so I can just tap on install now, and this will install Magisk. So there, we are done. Now we will just open it, and yep, so here we are. Now I'll go back to the browser again, and let's go back to the installation instructions. So we have completed the first step, which was to download and install the latest Magisk app. Next, let's see what the installation instructions say. So now we have pay special attention to the RAM disk info. The result of this info determines whether your device has RAM disk in the boot partition. So for me at least, it shows as yes. So yes, I do have RAM disk, but for those of you, if this is a no, then the instructions for that are also given below. We'll just get to that. Okay, and then we have this small quotation. Unfortunately, there are exceptions, as some devices bootloader accepts RAM disk even if it shouldn't. In this case, you will have to follow the instructions as if your device's boot partition does include RAM disk. There is no way to detect this, so the only way to know for sure is to actually try. Fortunately, as far as we know, only some Xiaomi devices are known to have this property, so most people can simply ignore this piece of information. Now, I am assuming here that this won't apply to you, but if it does, we will handle this in the later part of the video. Okay, and in fact, the instructions for this are some more instructions related to this are also given below. So we don't need to pay much heed to this right now. Let's continue. If your device does not have boot RAM disk, read the Magisk in recovery section before installing. The information in that section is very important. If you are a Samsung device and the SAR value is yes, SAR by the way refers to system as root. So this is the SAR value. If that says to yes, and if you have a Samsung device that is, then you have to follow that. Okay, then it says otherwise continue to patching images, which is the next section in fact. And then we have a couple of PS. So the first PS is if your device has boot RAM disk, you can also install Magisk with a custom recovery, but it is not recommended. And the second PS is that the Huawei devices are not supported and the instructions are removed from this page. So we can just ignore that for the timing. And in case any of these terms sound complex, like what the hell is RAM disk, what is boot RAM disk, then you don't have to pay much attention to what those things are. Just follow what I'm showing you in this video and what the instructions are telling you in this video. If you don't understand what RAM disk is, it's not that important, okay? And that will be the case for some other things in this tutorial as well. If you don't know what those mean, you don't have to get into too many details. You can just understand it that RAM disk is just something that is out there. You don't have to get into too many details, otherwise you'll just end up getting confused. But you don't. It's all right if you don't have the knowledge of what a RAM disk is. You will still be able to follow this tutorial. All right. Okay. Let's continue. Now it says for patching RAM disk, if your device has boot RAM disk, you need a copy of the boot.img. If your device does not have boot RAM disk, you need a copy of the recovery.img. You should be able to extract the file you need from official firmware packages or your custom ROM zip. If you are still having trouble, go to XDA developers and look for resources, guides, discussions, or ask for help in your device's code. Alright, now, so I'm going to show you how to find the copy of the boot.img. The next step is to boot into the recovery mode so that we can extract that boot.img. So you can just do a quick Google search for what key combination you have to use for booting into the recovery mode. I have got a 1+1, so I just did a Google search for how to boot into recovery mode 1+1. Okay, so when I will just scroll down, let's say if we read the description of this first search result, it says switch off your 1+1. Now press and hold the power plus volume down buttons simultaneously until you see the recovery options on your device. So the key combination for booting into the recovery mode for the 1+1 is by pressing the power up key and the volume down key. So I will just power off the phone now, and once that is done, I will just press the power key and the volume down key simultaneously. And once you just press those two keys, you will your phone will vibrate a bit, and that will give you a clue that the key combination has been detected. Okay, so let me just tone down the brightness a bit, so that you guys can just see the now you can see the screen better. I'll just tone down the brightness slightly more, and now I believe you can see the screen. Just increase it. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will go to TWRP's home screen. So I'll just tap on this back key, and now just click on backup, and from here you have to select just one option, and that is boot. So just make sure boot is selected. You can if you want to change the name of the backup, you can do that. So I will just change the name to let's say one. So I'll just name the backup as 1+1, and yeah, and then I'll just tap on this check mark. And just one thing that you have to back up is just click on the boot partition, make sure that the boot is selected, and then just swipe to backup. So there you go, the boot image has now been backed up. So now what we will do is we will click on home, and we'll go to reboot, and then we will reboot to system. Now just wait for your device to boot up. Alright guys, so my phone booted up now, and now we have completed the step of extracting getting a copy of the boot.img. Now in case for those of you, if the option in Magisk Manager, let me just open that up. Okay, if this option for RAM disk showed up as no, and you had to get a copy of the recovery.img instead, then also when you will go to the backup option in TWRP, then also you will get that option for backing up. The 1+1 is quite an old device, that's why TWRP for that doesn't support backing up recovery.img. But for newer devices, and again for most of the devices, recovery.img would be there. But in any case, I think after you have installed TWRP, you wouldn't get that message as no, that you were getting RAM disk should always show up as yes for you after you have installed TWRP. But in case it doesn't, and you have to get the recovery.img, then you can just go to just a moment. Yeah. Then when you go to TWRP and you go to backups, then you should be able to backup recovery.img. Okay. Now let's move on. So the next step is you should be able to extract the file you need from official firmware packages or your custom ROM zip. If you are still having trouble, go to XDA developers and look for resources, guides, discussions, or ask for help in your devices forum. We don't need to do any of that since we already have TWRP installed. So once you have TWRP installed, you can extract the boot.img or recovery.img, everything for the ROM that you are using. Now, next what we have to do is copy the boot/recovery img to your device, and then we have to press the install button in the Magisk card. Okay. Now, before we press the install button in the Magisk card, what we have to do is we have to do one thing. So what you now have to do is go to now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install this file explorer. This one is Mixplorer, and this is my go-to file explorer, the one that I recommend everyone to use. This is also available on the Play Store, I guess. So I will include a direct link for this in the video description. But if you just want to go ahead and Google this yourself, then you can just go ahead and Google Mixplorer APK there. So just do that, and once you just go down here, go ahead and download the latest APK that is available. So Mixplorer 6.5 6.0 is the latest one. So I'll go ahead, I'll download that. I will click on the variant that is available, then click on download APK, and now the download must start. So you can also use any other file explorer from the Play Store, but this is the one that I personally recommend everyone to use. So I already have that downloaded. I'll download that again, and in case now if you don't have permission for installing apps from third-party unknown sources, then you will get a prompt up for that, for enabling for giving permission to the web browser, in this case for installing apps from unknown sources. So if you get that prompt up, give it that permission, and now click on install. By the way, as I already mentioned, you can get Mixplorer from the Play Store. I think that is the silver variant of Mixplorer is available on the Play Store, but that is paid. So if you are interested in getting that, then you can go to the Play Store and get that variant. I'll also include a link for that in the description. But also if you want to use any other file explorer that is convenient to you, you can do that. But just one thing that you must be able to do here is that you must be able to rename the extension of a file. Okay, so now when you open up Mixplorer, it will ask you to give it access to the internal storage. Give it all the permissions that it needs, then scroll down and you will see this folder for TWRP. And by the way, make sure you are in the internal storage of your device. In case you aren't, you can change that from in here. You can just make sure that you are in the internal storage. Then scroll down, go to TWRP, go to backups. Then this was the backup that we just made, and now what we have to do is we have to rename this file boot.emmc.win. There might be a couple of other files here, but make sure that you are renaming the file that is large in size. So this one is 16 megabytes. Below this we have got, I think this is 80 bytes, and then below that we have got the recovery.log file, which is 20.40 kilobytes. So what you have to do is you have to just rename that particular file, which has good amount of size. So in this case 16 MB. Make sure that this is that you are renaming this. And also, since if you backed up boot, when you backed up the recovery partition, when you backed up the boot in the TWRP backups, then it names that to as boot.emmc.win. So what we have to do now is we have to click on that rename option, this button here. Click on that, and now click on extension, and now we just have to change this extension from WIN to IMG. That's it. Click on OK, and this will rename that to boot.emmc.img. That's all that you have to do. Okay, if you have a recovery partition, if you back up the recovery partition, you will get something like recovery.emmc.win here. Just change that to recovery.emmc.img. That's all you have to do. Okay, now next thing that we have to do is we'll go back to the instructions again. The next thing is to press the install button in the Magisk card. If you are patching a recovery image, make sure a recovery mode is checked in the options. Choose select and patch a file in method, and select the stock boot/recovery image file. The Magisk app will patch the image to internal storage /download/magisk_patched_random strings.img. Copy the patched image to your PC with ADB, flash the patched image. Now that's all that we have to do. Reboot, and voila, Magisk would be installed. Okay, so what we have to do now is we will go to Mixplorer again. In fact we will go to the Magisk manager. We will tap on install, and then this will allow Magisk to access photos, media and files on your device. Give it that permission, then select and patch a file. And now what we have to do is click on this hamburger icon here, and then you will get this option for selecting files using Mixplorer. Do that. Scroll down to the TWRP folder, click on backups, then go to the boot that TWRP boot file that we renamed. Long press on that, and then just tap on this tick that you see in the top left. tap on it, and then just select let's go. So this will patch the boot.img, and now you can just see output file is written to, and this is the string name. So you have to include /storage /emulated /0. If you get anything like that, don't get confused. This is just the path for the internal storage. What this basically means is that the Magisk has now patched the boot.img, and it has saved that to the downloads folder, and this is the name of the file. In fact, I'll just show that to you. Let's go to Explorer again, and let's go to the internal storage. Now I will scroll down to download, and there we see this is the patched image file that the logs are referring to. So this is what we have done. Just note the name, patched -23,000 MAD for it, and when we go at 23,000 MAD for it. So that's what it is. Okay, all right, now let's go back, and now if we go to the instructions again, now it says that you have to copy this image file to your PC with ADB, and then you have to flash the patched import/recovery image to your device. We don't have to copy the files to our PC and do that. We can go back to TWRP again and repeat that same process. So now I will boot into TWRP again using the same key combination that we did in the last step, and then we are just going to install the patched boot.img that Magisk saved in the downloads folder. Okay guys, so now we are in TWRP again. So now what we have to do is just click on install, then make sure you are in the downloads folder. So again, what I'll just usually when you open up TWRP by default, it will open up in /SD card. So now what you have to do is scroll down to that downloads folder, click on it, and from here select tap on install image, and then you will get that Magisk, the boot image that Magisk patched. So click on that, then select partition to flash image. Here click boot, and then swipe to confirm flash. Okay, once that's done, click on reboot system. Okay, now once the phone has booted up, let's just enter the pin, and boom, now when I click on Magisk, it should be working fine. Okay, so now our phone must be rooted. Okay, so what I'll do is I will go to APK Mirror, and we will download an app for checking a root checking app. This is also available on the Play Store. I will leave a link for that in the video description, but I don't have the Google Play Store installed right now, so I will just install this one. It's root checker. Again, I will leave all the requisite links in the description below, so you don't have to worry about any of the links. I'll quickly go ahead and download the APK file for root checker. Now when I click on download APK, once the download is finished, click on open, and then click on install. Once it's installed, tap on open, and now click on agree. So get started, and now just click on verify root, and now we have this pop-up for super user request. Click on grant, and there we have it. Congratulations, root access is properly installed on this device. So we have successfully rooted the 1+1. So this is the method that will work for most of you out there. Now for those of you who have got who have Samsung based devices, or for those of you for whom RAM disk showed up as no, then I will now show you what has to be done in those cases. Okay, so let's just rewind a little, and let's see. Okay, so there we have. If your device does not have a boot RAM disk, read the Magisk in recovery section before installing. The information in that section is very important. So I will click on that, and now it says if your device does not have RAM disk in boot images, that is if when you are in the Magisk manager, or when you are in the Magisk file and RAM disk showed up as no here, then what you have to do is Magisk has no choice but to hijack the recovery partition. For these devices, you will have to reboot to recovery every time you want Magisk enabled. Since Magisk now hijacks the recovery, there is a special mechanism for you to actually boot into recovery mode. Each device model has its own key combination to boot into recovery. As an example for Galaxy S10, it is power plus Bixby plus volume up, and we have already seen you can just do a quick Google search on how to boot a particular device into recovery mode, and you can get that key combination. A quick search online should easily get you this info. As soon as you press the combo and the device vibrates with a splash screen, release all buttons to boot into Magisk. Okay, so that's what you have to do. If you decide to boot into the actual recovery mode, long press volume up until you see the recovery screen. So what this essentially means is that you can either have a Magisk built into your system, or your system can run without Magisk. So if you want your system to run with Magisk, then in that case what you have to do is, and this summary will summarize everything that was mentioned in the aforementioned para. So what you have to do is, if you want to boot up your device without Magisk, without root access, then what you just have to do is you just have to power up your phone normally. What that means is you can just press and hold the power key and your phone will boot up normally. Okay, but if you want to boot your system with Magisk enable, that is with root access, then what you have to do is, let's take the example of the OnePlus One here. Okay, let's say if for the OnePlus One the RAM disk wasn't there, that is, this option showed up as no. So now what we will have to do is, we will and just remember that for going into the recovery mode for the OnePlus One, we had to press the power key and the volume down key simultaneously. Okay, so if we have to boot into a system with Magisk, that is a system with root access for the OnePlus One, then in that case what we have to do is we have to press the power key and the volume down key, and then when we see the splash screen of the recovery, we just have to release all the buttons at that time, and then the phone will boot up into the system mode, and that will have Magisk installed. Now if you want to go into the recovery mode instead, you have to click on that same recovery key combo, that is the power key and the volume down key, and then when you see the splash screen, you have to long press the volume up key, and then you will get into the recovery mode. Okay, I hope that's quite clear. But if you don't want, if you want to have a system without root, then you just long press the power key and keep it pressing until you see the splash screen. That is the first screen that you, for example, this was the screen that we first saw when the OnePlus One started booting up. Not the splash screen of the recovery, but the splash screen when the phone starts booting up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, that's what we have to do for those devices which didn't have boot RAM disk for with the devices for which the option was no. But note that the patching images procedure has to be followed for installing Magisk in the first place. The key combination pressing, that has to be done when when you want to boot the system either with Magisk or without Magisk. Okay, for your Samsung phone, the SAR value was yes. That is, if this value on your Samsung phone was yes, then what you have to do is you have to refer to this section. Okay, and here you will have to use a PC for installing Magisk. There is just no way that you can do this on a phone, and I mean a PC, a Windows computer. You can't use a Mac with this, because for this we have to use a software that is known as Odin, and that only works on Windows computers. It doesn't work on Macs, unfortunately. So you will have to do that, and then you will have to follow this process. I will just walk you through on what you have to do, but it's quite simple. If you have been following the video till now, then you wouldn't have any issues in following this. So installing Magisk will trip Knox. So Knox is essentially, this is a security integrity check that Samsung builds into their phones. It just verifies the integrity of your device. If that check just returns two values, a positive value or a negative value. If you install Magisk, it will return a negative value, and it will tell Samsung that the security of this device has been compromised. So it won't limit the way in, it will just limit slightly the way in which you can use your device. Some security-based features won't work, but it wouldn't be a deal breaker in any way that will impact the way you use it. But it's just some things won't work. Then it says that installing Magisk for the first time requires a full data wipe. This is not counting the data wipe when unlocking the bootloader. Back up your data before you continue. So you will this will wipe all the data that is stored on your internal storage, your apps, images, videos, everything. So make sure you back them up. And then lastly, it says that you have to download Odin. Only runs on Windows computers. So if you want to download Odin, let's say if you can if you go here, then you can just go to you can just do a quick Google search for download Odin XDA, and in fact I'll include the link for this one below. And when you go to this XDA thread, and as is also mentioned in that official guide, XDA developers is one of the most trusted sources. So we have a couple of Odin files that you can use here. I will include a link for this thread below, and in fact this thread was edited on Jan 29, 2021. So these downloads are fairly up to date. So I'll include the link here. Just make sure you can download Odin from here, and hopefully that will save you some time. And then you just have to unlock the bootloader. It mentions the process that you have to follow for that. Allow bootloader unlocking in developer options. You have to enable the switch for OEM unlocking, then reboot to download mode, power off your device, and press the download mode key combo for your device. So what you will have to do is, download mode is also known as so for example, I did a Google search, I think, for how to boot into recovery mode on the OnePlus One. In place of that, you just have to enter how to boot into fast boot mode followed by the name of your device. Okay, so let's say if you have a Galaxy S10, then you just do a Google search for how to boot into fast boot mode Galaxy S10. Okay, and then you will just get the search results, and you can determine what key combo has to be used. So for the OnePlus One, it's pressing the power plus the volume up key. Okay, then you have to go through the initial setup, skip through all the steps since data will be wiped again in later steps, connect the device to internet during the setup, enable developer options, and confirm that the OEM unlocking option exists and is grayed out. So this will unlock the bootloader, and then you will have to use these tools. All of these have links to XDA forums. I think at least one of them had, yeah. So Sam Loader and Frija, these have links on the XDA forum. So you will have to download, you will have to use these tools to download the firmware zip for your device directly into Samsung servers. And in fact, you can also use a website that is known as Sam Mobile rather, for this purpose. They have they host firmware files for all the Galaxy S10 phones, or for all the Galaxy phones, and besides the tools that are mentioned in this directory, they are also just as popular as XDA developers. So you can go to Sam Mobile. I will include instructions for I'll include their link in the video description, but this was for example, let's say if you want to download the firmware for Galaxy S10, I did a search for that, so it will just take some time to load up. Okay, and you can download the images for your file from the firmware images for your file from this website as well. So besides the sources that are the tools that are mentioned here, you can also use Sam Mobile. That is just as good. Then once you have downloaded the firmware, copy the APTAR file to your device. It is normally named as this, and then you have to press the install button on Magisk. Make sure that recovery mode is checked in the options. Then you have to select and patch a file. Magisk app will patch the whole firmware file to the downloads folder. Then you have to copy that file. Then you have to reboot to download mode. That is the fast boot mode. Then you have to open Odin and flash that TAR file to AP together with BL, CP, and CSE. I will find a good video which will you can refer to this video, which will show you on how to use Odin for flashing the .tar file. So I'll include a link for this video in the description. You can follow that, and that will guide you through this entire process. Then your device should automatically boot once Odin finished flashing. Agree to do a firmware reset if asked. If your device does not boot RAM disk, reboot to recovery now to enable Magisk, and then install the latest Magisk app and launch the app. It should show a dialog asking for additional setup. Let it do its job, and the app will automatically reboot your device. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all that you have to do for installing the Magisk on Samsung phones. And yeah, so we are done with all the installation methods. There are still a couple of other ways. For example, if you want to upgrade your OS, you will have to manually flash the OTA file. So those are incremental things which I will cover up in later videos. But for the purpose of this video, you just have to know that you can either use this method should work on rooting any Android phone, and there is another method where you can just rename the Magisk APK that you downloaded. You can rename the extension of that file of that .apk to .zip, and you can just flash that in the custom recovery. That method does work, but as is mentioned here, this installation method is deprecated and is maintained with minimum effort. You have been warned. So that method may work, but in fact, I'll just show you this. This is not something that is way too complex. So after you have installed Mixplorer, if you want to, let's say, if you want to install this this file via the custom recovery, so you just tap on this rename option here. You click on extension, and then you just rename this extension to .zip. That's it. That's all that has to be done. Okay, and then it will you can flash this in TWRP, and it should root your phone then as well. But as has been noted in the installation notes, this method is deprecated, and that's why I'm not spending too much time on explaining how it works. But it's relatively simple. You just go to install, and just as we flashed the boot.img, you just select this zip file and flash it, and then Magisk will install itself. Reboot and check whether the Magisk app is installed. If it isn't installed automatically, manually install the APK. That's it. So I hope this video was thorough enough, and it gave you all the essential details that you needed to understand how to install Magisk. This is a great tool. I will have more videos coming up in this Magisk 101 series. I will cover up some Magisk modules. There would be hands-on tutorials on how they work, what is it. I'll do some videos of the Talk Magisk modules, and there is just a completely once you've rooted your device, you are in a completely new world of modifying your Android device and truly making it your own. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Okay, bye bye.